There's something that I need to ask you to stop doing. I need you to stop waiting. I need you to stop waiting for other people to do the thing that you want to do. I want you to stop waiting for that permission to come from others. I want you to stop waiting for others to lead the life that you want to create for yourself. I need to ask you to stop waiting to be invited to do things that you want to do yourself. You're waiting for signs. You're waiting for other people to decide for you. But why? Why are you waiting for them to decide for yourself? Why are you giving away the only power that you have in this life, which is the power to decide what is it that you're going to do with your own life? The power to decide how you're going to use the hours in your day, how you're going to use the days in your week, how you're going to use the months in your year, where you're going to go, who you're going to meet, where you're going to travel or not travel to, what you're going to do for work, how you're going to spend your work days, how many times per week you're going to train or not, the kind of food that you want to have, if you want to drink a lot of beers or not drink at all, if you want to eat meat or not, if you want to go to more concerts or not. Why are you waiting? Why are you waiting for the world to tell you what to do when you can decide that for yourself? Today, I want to invite you to live your life with intention, with an intention that you're going to set yourself for your own life, an intention that you can set for your year, an intention that you can set for the current month or the coming month, an intention that you can set for each one of your weeks, an intention that you can set at the beginning of each one of your days. I want you to live with intention, because we're not going to be here forever. We were given the opportunity to come here to live one life, maybe more, who knows? But right now, we're here. And we have this. This is the only thing that we have for sure, that we know for a fact, that we have is this life, is this time, is the hours in this day. So I want you to choose intentionally, how is it that you want to live? And by intention and choosing, I don't necessarily mean doing. I don't necessarily mean that you have to fill your days with a bunch of things and a super long and overwhelming to-do list and a bucket list for your life of all the things that you have to achieve. It doesn't have to be that. That might be the case for some people. That might be the case for you. Maybe that's what you want to do in your life. Maybe you want to achieve. But maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to live. Maybe you just want to be in nature, or maybe you just want to go to the beach, or maybe you want to travel, or maybe you don't want to travel. Maybe you want to be a person of routine. Maybe you want to focus your life on self-love and inspiring others, or maybe you want to be a chaser and you want to work in a very corporate place, chasing for the revenue and the profit targets. It can be anything. Your life can be about anything. It can have any colors. It can feel any way. You can live a peaceful life, or you can live a stressful life. You can live a high-paced life. You can have all of it. You can have some years where you're prioritizing nothingness. And then you can have other years where you are prioritizing more doing and achieving. You can have some years where you're prioritizing your own personal projects, and you can have other years where you're prioritizing friendships. You can have other years where you're prioritizing family, or it's maybe again building that routine. Maybe you're prioritizing finding love. Maybe it's romantic love. Maybe it's experiencing all the different kinds of love that we can experience. Not just romantic, but in friendships, and the love even coming from people that you don't know so much. There are so many different levels to how we can actually experience love and care coming from the people around us. But back to my point, it's really not about one thing or the other. Today, I want to remind you that you have the power to decide what your intention is. And that intention that you pick for your year, for your month, for your week, for your day, for the next hour, for the next 30 minutes, is going to lead everything that you do and how you feel afterwards. And it's gonna make your life feel more aligned to what you want your life to feel like. So again, stop waiting. What are you waiting for? Who else is gonna know? Who else is gonna know better than you what is going to make you happy? How can somebody else, somebody that's out there, know or lead how you're going to be spending your next day, your next week, your next month? Why are you giving away so much of your power by feeling bad about yourself, or by feeling small, or feeling behind, when your life doesn't look like someone else's, when you realize yourself that the someone else that you're comparing yourself to is not just one person, it's multiple people, and they all have different lives. They're not even the same. But here you are, comparing yourself to all of these different versions of life and feeling like you're not doing it right because your version of life doesn't look like their version of life. But how could it? You're living one life and it's your own, and you're comparing yourself to 20 different versions out there that have nothing to do with you. And there is just no point. It just doesn't make any sense. And we're doing it all the time. You're doing it, I'm doing it, the people around you are doing it. It's the thing that we do the most. We neglect the possibility that we have to choose how we want to live our lives, and then we neglect the right that we have for our life to look any way. Once we're living, once we are at it, and then our life actually looks different, we judge ourselves and we punish ourselves and we feel guilty and we feel shame and we blame ourselves because there's something in us that tells us that it's not right because it looks different. And that's not true. And I'm here to remind you that the most important thing when you look at your life and your life looks different is that you feel that that is on purpose and that it's not a mistake and that it's not by accident. And that brings me back to the power of intention. Because when you are living your life from an intentional point of view, when your life feels different, when your life looks different, you're happy about it. You're not worried about it because you decided that for yourself. You were in control, you made a decision, and you created that day. You created that week. You created those 5 years. You did that intentionally. So you don't feel like it's an accident, like it's a mistake, like it doesn't make any sense. And you don't feel the need to compare or to feel behind or small when you look at other people. Because that was an intentional choice and you did it from a place of wisdom within yourself. You did it from a place of alignment to what's important to you. What are the things that you like? What are the things that you care about? What are the things that are the most important to you? But when the opposite happens, when you're not living from a place of intention, you all of a sudden take a look at your life and then you're like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? Like, what did I do? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? I have no clue why I spend my days worrying about this damn thing that I don't even care about. Why am I with this person? Why am I in this place? Why are this my friends? I don't care about any of this. That is the consequence, that is the result of having made a bunch of decisions on autopilot from a place of no intention. That is the consequence of just doing what everybody else is doing because that felt safe. Because nobody was going to ask you anything. Because nobody is going to ask you why you're doing the thing that everybody else is doing. Because everybody has accepted it as normal. So nobody's going to challenge you. Nobody's going to question you. And if your intention is to not be challenged and to not be questioned, that's what you're going to do. And you're going to end up in that position where I made this decision, I made this move because this ensured that I wouldn't be challenged and I wouldn't be questioned. And that's like a little check. But then what? Then you build your entire life based on that. And the one that's facing the consequences of doing that, and the one that's living the life of someone else's dream is you. You are the one that needs to show up every day to that life that you built without any intention behind it that was aligned to what you wanted. So when people ask me, what is this thing about intention, or why do you have daily intentions? Because I have daily intentions written down on my fridge that I look at the beginning of every day, and those are ruling how I live my day. And when people ask, what is this thing? Like, what are these intentions? What is it? Well, it's everything. This is how my vision board, this is how my life goals, how my yearly goals translate to my everyday life. This is how I make sure to remember. This is how I make sure that every day I am doing the thing that I have to do so that a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, I end up feeling the way I want to feel. And this is not even about controlling your circumstances. It has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with controlling what's happening externally. It has nothing to do even with saying necessarily where you're gonna live, if it's gonna be a house or an apartment, if you're gonna be married or single, if you're gonna be living in this country or in the other one, if you're going to be freelancing or you're gonna be the CEO of a company. It doesn't even have to do with that level of detail for your future. It could be a little bit of it, a small part of it. It has to do with what kind of person do you want to be? What kind of feelings do you want to experience in this life? What kind of feelings do you want to experience? What kind of experiences do you want to be a part of? What kind of friends do you want to have? Is it the ones that listen to you in a certain way? Or is it the ones that talk to you in another way? Or is it the ones that fill their days doing a certain activity? What is it for you? I don't know what it is. There's no right answer or wrong. There's multiple answers. Like, you're gonna be thinking one thing, I'm thinking something else. It's not about the answer. It's about the question. Are you asking yourself these questions? Or do you only notice that you're not when you find yourself in a situation and you don't get it? And you're like, why am I here? Why am I here with these people? Why am I doing this? Why did I just spend 10 hours of my day doing this? And if that's the case, that you only realize in those moments, that's great. Anyways, because here we are. And it doesn't matter what you did in the past 34 years of your life. That's my age. Or 25 or 40 or 70 or 80 or 12 or 16 or I don't know how old you are. It doesn't matter what you have been doing up until now. The only thing that matters is what you're going to do now. The only thing that matters is your intention today, your intention tomorrow, your intention for the coming week, for the coming month, for the coming year. The only thing that matters is what's gonna happen from now on, because we are here. We were still given another chance, another opportunity to choose our intention, and to every day, with every minute that passes, decide to do something that is aligned with what matters the most to us.